plus d'1 tonne de marijuana. C'est énorme. Oh la vache. Bon, après, j'avoue que la plantation a l'air gigantesque, hein. C'est surprenant qu'ils aient pas été cramés avant parce que ça sent très fort quand même, hein. Je veux dire, le facteur, tous les jours, tous les jours, le facteur, il passe, il sort la weed, il repart, il sort la weed. 6 mystères dérangeants résolus grâce à Google Maps. Une vidéo de Chilling Scares. Je sais pas si on a déjà vu des vidéos de Chilling Scares sur la chaîne. Je suis pas sûr. Moi, je sais que j'en ai déjà maté pas mal tout seul, mais j'en ai peut-être jamais regardé sur la chaîne. Faudrait que je vérifie. Mais c'est des vidéos plutôt cool. Pareil que un peu que ce qu'on a regardé hier avec Jack Crowley. C'est des trucs un peu dans le style en gros de Feld Up, quoi. Enfin, dans l'idée, hein. C'est vraiment pas la même chose, mais dans l'idée, c'est des trucs un peu mystérieux, un peu sombres, des trucs méconnus d'internet ou. Dans ce cas, ah non, Chilinscar, remarque, c'est pas forcément lié à Internet. Je dis des conneries. Là, c'est lié à Google Maps. Des fois, c'est vraiment des trucs, des gens qui s'enregistrent en faisant de l'urbex dans des zones, dans des zones abandonnées, qui font des rencontres hyper flippantes. C'est plutôt intéressant. Moi, j'aime bien regarder ce genre de vidéos. Donc, voyons quels mystères ont été résolus grâce à Google Maps.
At around 1 p.m. on November 2nd, 2020, an 83-year-old mother of 4 named Paulette Landriax mysteriously disappeared from her home in Anden, Belgium. At the time, her husband was hanging the laundry up to
Belgique, c'est
dry
pas
in the
loin.
garden and didn't notice she was gone until later that afternoon. When Paulette's family realized she was missing, they reported the disappearance to the
Comment on dit
police,
Paulette?
triggering a pretty big search for the missing woman. Though this wasn't the first time Paulette disappeared, as she
Paulette.
reportedly suffered from Alzheimer's disease and would frequently leave the house at random times of the day and night without telling her husband where
Elle
she
se
was
perdait.
going. She was known to randomly knock on the neighbors' doors for no apparent reason, and in the years leading up to her
Ah, Alzheimer,
disappearance,
c'est
she no
terrible comme
longer
maladie.
recognized her children or her husband. Every
Terrible
other
pour la
time she had
famille et
disappeared,
tout.
her husband would find her a few feet away from the house and bring her back inside. But this time, she was nowhere to be found. During the search, 50 police officers and several search and rescue dogs were deployed to the area, along with multiple thermal vision helicopters and an entire fleet of drones. But even with all these resources
Ah,
at their
on utilise des
disposal,
drones maintenant
the
pour
local
retrouver les
police
gens?
department
Je savais même
failed to
pas.
find any relevant clues leading to Paulette. After several weeks, the search was called off, and the family assumed that she had fallen into the Meuse River, which ran near her home. In October of 2022, just as the police department was about to close the file, one investigator was searching for Paulette's house on Google Street View and found something shocking. There, as luck would have it, he found a Street View image of Paulette leaving her home and crossing the street to her neighbor's house.
Genre.
The case was immediately reopened, and police
What
were once
the
again
heck?
deployed to the area, where they found the body.
Ça veut dire que ils ont eu de la chance parce que, enfin, ça veut dire qu'ils ont eu de la chance de ouf que genre la Google Car, elle passe pile ce jour-là, le jour de sa disparition, au moment où elle traversait la route, sur cette route-là. Faut vraiment avoir une chance de malade pour en arriver là.
Of Paulette lying at the bottom of a hill directly below.
Mais surtout que c'est un cul-de-sac et tout, donc vraiment ils ont vraiment eu juste une chance de ouf quoi.
Once again deployed to the area, where they found the body of Paulette lying at the bottom of a hill directly below the neighbor's garden.
What? Attends, mais comment ils l'ont pas trouvé avant? C'est pas possible. Ils ont dit qu'ils avaient dépêché des hélicos, des drones et tout, plein de gens. Et au final, elle était juste genre à 50 mètres, 100 mètres de la maison, quoi. Comment ils l'ont pas trouvé?
Informed, it was determined that the woman had fallen
C'est
from
ouf.
an unenclosed section of the garden and died shortly after. Her final moments eerily being caught by the passing Google Street View car as she walks to her death, likely in another wave of confused state caused by her Alzheimer's disease. One thing that's hard to understand is how the police failed to see her with their drones and
Ouais,
helicopters the first
exactement,
time.
c'est la question qu'il faut se poser là.
Find closure knowing what happened to Paulette, even if it comes with this eerie last image of her ever being seen alive. If you visit the location on Google Maps today, you'll find the image has been overwritten by a more up-to-date view of the town. In July 2011, 2 armed individuals broke into an empty house in an otherwise peaceful suburb of Oklahoma City. With a house full of valuables for them to steal and nobody
La
there to
Google Car
stop them,
passait
the
devant la
two got
maison à
to
ce
work.
moment-là.
But unfortunately for them, the looting spree was much more short-lived than they had hoped. A few minutes later, the homeowner returned and walked in on the two of them looting her house.
Ah.
But instead of fleeing with the valuables they had already stolen, they held her at gunpoint as they continued to ransack her home. This went on for over an hour, and during the traumatizing incident, the woman recalled thinking they were going to shoot her before leaving. Fortunately, the robbers eventually left the house without physically harming the woman. After the armed robbery, she refused to reveal her identity to the press out of fear that the thieves would retaliate.
T'inquiète, j'ai nettoyé un peu ma baraque aujourd'hui déjà.
The woman later reported the incident to the cops, but with no witnesses and an absence of solid leads, the case eventually went cold, and the woman lost hope that the two criminals would ever be found. However, 3 years later, the case took an unexpected turn.
3 ans plus tard,
On
putain.
a day in July 2014, the woman's neighbor was looking
En
at
même
her
temps, j'avoue que
street
t'as
using-
pas du tout l'idée, il vient d'avoir un crime et tout, t'as pas du tout l'idée de te dire, bon, je vais aller jeter un œil sur Google Maps. Surtout qu'au moment où le truc s'est produit, probablement que les images Google Maps et tout, elles étaient pas encore en ligne, quoi. Enfin, ça a dû être en ligne des semaines, voire des mois plus tard, peut-être même bien plus. Donc, et oui, tu penses pas à te poser. Le premier truc que tu dis, c'est pas. Ah, peut-être que je contacte Google, voir s'il n'y a pas une Google Car qui passait dans le coin à ce moment-là.
Google Maps Street View when she noticed an image of two men
Mais ce qui est fou, c'est
casually
que
strolling
ça arrive quand même
down the
régulièrement.
street, perfectly matched the description the victim had given her of the criminals. Immediately, she texted the woman, who confirmed that the two men captured by the Street View van that happened to be mapping out the neighborhood on the day of the robbery were indeed the same two men who had robbed her. Based on the direction they were walking, it seems that the image was captured in the minutes leading up to the crime. Unfortunately, because the two men's faces are obscured by the grainy quality of the image and Google's software that automatically blurs pedestrians, the cops haven't been able to track the men down. But with a string of clues and a picture to add to their search, police now have a much better chance of catching the two thanks to Google Maps.
Ah, donc ils les ont pas eu pour l'instant.
One night in October 2006, a 72-year-old man named David Lee Niles met up with a friend at Jake's Bar in Byrontown, Michigan. This was a place that David visited frequently and usually stayed there for at least a couple of hours, but on that particular evening, the story was very different. Earlier that year, David had been diagnosed with cancer, and after a brief conversation with his friend, he left abruptly, claiming that he was in a lot of physical pain due to the cancer. That was the last time anyone ever saw him. When his family failed to get in touch with him, they reported him missing to the police, leading to a statewide search that ultimately led nowhere, as the cops couldn't find any clues as to where David could have gone. In 2011, 5 years after his disappearance, his family lost hope and accepted the idea that David was gone.
Putain, c'est ouf les durées. 3 ans juste avant, 5 ans maintenant.
Age 72 of Wyoming, passed away and only God knows the time and place.
Ah non, c'est 5 ans après qu'ils l'ont déclaré mort, d'accord. C'est pas de 5 ans après que le truc a été résolu.
The case went completely cold until almost a decade later when a new twist shed light on
Putain,
David's
d'accord, 10 ans du coup.
One morning in November 2015, Brian Hausman, an employee of the Cook Funeral Home in Byron County, was decorating the company Christmas tree outside. When he got to the top of the tree on his lift to put up the star, he noticed something in the adjacent pond that looked like a submerged car. Immediately, he called the police, and using Google Maps from a bird's eye view, they were able to see the same outline that was described. A dive team was deployed to the area, who confirmed that there was in fact a car at the bottom of the pond. Later that morning, a wrecking crew pulled out the vehicle for
Mais
the
c'est
police
fou
to
que personne l'ait vu avant.
Inside the vehicle, the cops found the skeletal remains of a man, along with a wallet belonging
10 ans
to
plus
David
tard.
Lee Niles. After it was confirmed that the skeletal remains were his, David's family members finally found some closure. Still, the case remains a mystery, as it's unknown what exactly happened to him.
Ouais, c'est peut-être un suicide.
Even
Hein.
before his cancer diagnosis, David was known to have severe depressive episodes,
voilà.
and things understandably got a lot worse for him after he found out about the illness. With all this in mind, it's possible that he took his own life, but we'll likely never know for sure.
Mais je comprends pas comment des gens, enfin comment personne a vu la voiture dans le lac avant.
In the 80s and 90s, Gioacchino Gamino was one of Italy's most wanted
Ou alors peut-être qu'elle était plus profondément enfouie et qu'avec le temps et les années, elle était remontée et tout. Je sais pas.
Sicilian mafia clan in Agrigento that was embroiled in a feud with Cosa Nostra, Sicily's main mafia network. He was first arrested in 1984 for murder and various other mafia-related crimes, but was later released shortly after. In 1998, he was arrested again in Barcelona, only this time he was sentenced to life in prison. After serving 4 years of his prison sentence at a prison in Rome, he managed to escape in 2002 during a commotion at the prison. Following his escape, he immediately relocated to a town near Madrid, Spain, and changed his name to Manuel Mormino. Over the 20 years that he was on the run from the police, he got married, worked as a chef at a restaurant called Manu's Kitchen, and even opened up a fruit and vegetable shop called Manu's Garden.
Ouais,
Sicilian police
non, j'allais dire, il va se faire cramer par Google, par une Google Car, mais c'est pas possible puisqu'il floute les visages. Donc tu peux pas reconnaître un visage sur Google Maps. Enfin, sur Street View, en tout cas.
eventually issued a European arrest warrant back in 2014. After carrying out several investigations, the police suspected that Gamino was hiding somewhere in Spain, but the way they pinpointed his exact location was pretty out of the ordinary. During the investigation, Sicilian police found that Google Maps had captured a street view image of two men talking outside of Manu's garden. One of the men looked extremement similar to the man they were looking for.
Oui, les visages sont floutés, mais ils sont vite fait floutés, donc on peut quand même plus ou moins reconnaître qui c'est au reste.
But
D'accord.
the cops only confirmed his identity when they came across a listing for Manu's Kitchen, the restaurant where Gamino worked. While investigating online, the police found a photo of him dressed in chef's attire on the Facebook page for Manu's Kitchen. After confirming his location, the police arrested Gioacchino Gamino on December 17, 2022, and extradited him to Sicily, where he is currently serving life in prison. According to the police, when they arrested him, Gamino was extremely confused and even had the nerve to ask how they found him when he hadn't even called his family in 10 years. In 2009, police from Zurich, Switzerland, were carrying out an investigation to shut down illegal marijuana growing operations all over the country.
Quand t'as pris autant de précautions et tout, et que tu te fais baiser par Google, franchement, je pense que tu dois avoir le seum.
Investigation, they used Google Earth to locate the addresses of two farmers who they suspected of being part of an illegal marijuana operation, and that's when one of the detectives found something interesting. As he was scanning the area on Google Earth, he noticed an unusual change in the pattern of the fields around Rapperswil in the northeastern state of Thurgau. Zooming in, he saw what appeared to be a cannabis plantation that measured more than 2 acres and was hidden inside a cornfield right next.
C'est malin ça. Il y a un champ de maïs autour, donc qui est vachement plus haut du coup. Et donc depuis l'extérieur, tu peux pas du tout voir ce qu'il y a au milieu parce que tu vois que le maïs qui dépasse de ouf. Je crois que mon père, un coup, il a planté il a planqué une de ses plantations de cannabis comme ça quand j'étais tout petit, genre dans la forêt. Genre c'était planqué en forêt comme ça, un tout petit truc, hein. Il y avait genre un arbuste ou 2 arbustes, mais c'est une technique connue, une filouterie connue ça.
Next to one of the farmers' houses. The Google Earth discovery ultimately led to the arrest of 16 people and the seizure of 1.1 metric tons of marijuana, as well as 900,000
Oh la vache!
cash, which is
Plus d'une tonne de marijuana. C'est énorme. Oh la vache. Bon après j'avoue que la plantation a l'air gigantesque, hein. C'est surprenant qu'ils aient pas été cramés avant parce que ça sent très fort quand même, hein. Je veux dire le facteur tous les jours. Tous les jours, le facteur, il passe, il sort la weed, il repart, il sort la weed.
Discovery ultimately led to the arrest of 16 people and the seizure of 1.1 metric tons of marijuana, as well as 900,000 Swiss francs in cash, which is the equivalent of around $1.1 million. According to the police report, the drug ring allegedly sold up to 7 tons of marijuana between 2004 and 2008, bringing in from 3 to 10 million francs a year. When asked about the breakthrough, the head of Zurich Police's Special Narcotics Unit, Norbert Glossner, said it was an interesting chance.
Oh, c'est vraiment marrant comment ça fait. Attendez, c'est normal ça que Google Maps là, enfin, ou c'est un bug? Pourquoi tout là, d'un seul coup, il y avait vraiment une ligne complètement blanche et à côté, ça l'est pas? Enfin, on dirait presque que c'est artificiel. C'est trop bizarre. Ça fait bizarre.
Since then, the cannabis plantation has been plowed over as recreational marijuana continues to be illegal in Switzerland. This incident happened at a home in Derbyshire, England, where David and Rebecca Soanes lived with their 2 children, Lauren and Ruben. In 2009, the family bought a caravan to travel across the country, but it was unfortunately destroyed shortly after when a joyrider crashed into it. A few months later, they bought a new $15,000 caravan to replace the old one, which they left in their driveway.
Une autre voiture.
In June of that year, Rebecca came home one day to find the caravan had disappeared, after which she immediately reported the incident to the police. However, with no solid leads, the cops couldn't really do anything about it, and the case went cold pretty quickly. It wasn't until 9 months later, in March of 2010, that 11-year-old Ruben Soanes found something revealing as he was looking at his house on Google Maps. Using the street view, he found an image of a male intruder on the family's driveway, standing suspiciously outside of his 4x4 vehicle. After a bit of investigating, the family found that the image had been captured by the Google Street View car just moments before the caravan was stolen. Around that time, a neighbor also came forward saying that he had seen the same man towing the caravan on the
Putain, c'est fou de voler une caravane, parce que c'est vraiment pas le truc le plus discret à voler pour le coup.
With such a clear
Putain, mais en plus, elle a l'air d'avoir un truc sur la roue qui empêche de rouler, là, non? Donc c'est bizarre.
image of the suspect, the Sones thought it would be easy for the cops to solve the crime, but it turned out to be much more difficult than expected to get an unblurred image of the 4x4's license plates from Google. Even though the police knew exactly what the thief looked like, it was never publicly confirmed if they managed to track him down or not.
Ah. Ah, bien joué à lui, hein. Il en est tiré en volant de caravane, vraiment le truc le moins facile à voler probablement. Moi, je veux dire, bon, ça roule, ok, donc du coup c'est facile à transporter. Par contre, faut la faire sortir, quoi. Sans se faire cramer. Et ça, eh ben, c'est pas la même histoire, ça. J'aime beaucoup les vidéos de cette chaîne. N'hésitez pas à aller lui mettre un like et à vous abonner. J'étais pas abonné apparemment, maintenant c'est fait. Ils font beaucoup de vidéos, en gros, comme ça. Genre, c'est les vidéos 6 mystères les plus bizarres résolus par Google Maps, 6 des rencontres les plus insolites faites dans des forêts la nuit, 6 des rencontres les plus insolites faites pendant des explorations urbaines, ce genre de trucs. Et bah, si vous avez bien aimé ça, vous aimerez forcément les autres vidéos. Donc, je vous conseille, franchement, si vous connaissez pas, c'est un truc cool à découvrir, c'est chill, tu peux te mettre ça à côté quand tu fais un jeu, un truc dans le genre. Mais oui, t'as vu? C'est bizarre, la caravane elle a un sabot. On est d'accord, hein? Que c'est bizarre qu'il ait réussi à piquer la caravane alors qu'il y a un sabot dessus. Logiquement, le truc roule pas, quoi. Mais bon, je sais pas, je me dis qu'il a peut-être pas utilisé la bonne image, que c'est juste un truc d'illustration, j'en sais rien. Mais ça là, ce truc là, ça c'est bizarre ça.